is saying hello from. And then also there is a webinar workbook that you should have gotten emailed to you. So it's in the email, and it should just say download email. I think that the final email, like the final warning, like, hey, webinar is starting right now, is going out like right now. So you should have that in your email, and you will have the download the workbook. It just says click here to download. It's not required at all, but it's just helpful to have something to write notes on as you're on the webinar. It's always helpful to kind of be able to take notes and jot some stuff down, because if you're anything like me, you will think that you're going to remember it, but if you don't write it down, you actually don't remember it, which is kind of frustrating. But so hi Loretta, hi Amy from Louisiana, Taylor from Dallas, welcome. You guys are awesome. So we have people joining, a ton of people joining right now. So I will introduce myself again because a lot of people are just joining. So hello, I'm John Runyon. I am your host for the evening, and I will be introducing you to Anna Runyon, the presenter, in just a little bit. But I wanted to take a moment and say welcome to How to Ditch Your Dead End Job and Find a Career You Love, and then also let you know that you can introduce yourself in the chat box as people are doing. We have Janet from Orlando, Florida. Welcome, Janet. I hope you guys, gosh, we have a lot of people on the East Coast. I hope you guys are doing okay from the hurricanes and preparing for another hurricane. It's crazy, and we definitely have you guys in our thoughts and prayers over there. It's really, really sad to see, but hopefully everything is getting better, and we'll work through this one just like we do for all of the other ones. Carolyn from Alabama, welcome. So I wanted to also remind you, you can introduce yourself in that chat box, and you can download the workbook, which you should have a link in your email, and it just says download workbook. It's not a required workbook. It just has, it's helpful to be able to take notes as you're going through the webinar. So hi Ellie from, or is it Elle? Either one. My sister's name is Ellie, so I immediately defaulted to Ellie. Hi Elle or Ellie from New York, welcome. So a couple other things I wanted to remind you of before we get started here. In the first 10 minutes, we'll be giving away a practical guide to LinkedIn success. And that's just a thank you for showing up. That's a thank you for being here on the webinar. And then at the very, very end, we're going to give another giveaway. It's the weekly to-do list that Anna uses every single week, and it's writable. It's editable, I should say. So you can just edit it right on your computer. It's super helpful. So we're giving that one away at the very end. So practical LinkedIn success guide in the first 10 minutes, and weekly to-do list at the very, very end. If you stick around for the whole thing, and welcome everyone. Gosh, I'm seeing lots and lots of people. So Deborah from North Carolina, Melanie, North Carolina, Amy from Texas. This is really cool. I love seeing all these people. LOL, I thought you said edible. Melanie, I may have said edible, because I'm hungry, and that just, it happens sometimes, but it's actually editable. So you can write it right on your computer, and that's really helpful, but I love it. And you're also cooking, so you were thinking edible as well. Welcome Meredith from Washington, DC, Taba from Ontario, Canada, Denishea from Dallas, Texas, Ontario, Canada. We were just in Toronto, and that was a really cool city. I wish we would have seen more of it. We only got to see like the baseball stadium. We went to a Blue Jays game, which was cool, and then we got to see the hotel, which was by the airport. So it wasn't. We didn't get to explore. I'm sorry we didn't do Toronto justice. Maybe we'll be back sometime soon. Amy from Los Angeles, Allison from Orlando, Florida. I love this. Keep introducing yourselves. This is really fun to see all the people joining from all over the world. It's really cool. So I will recap really quick what we are talking about. So my name is John Renyon. Good to see you all. And we are going to be started here very soon. I'll be introducing you to the presenter, Anna Runyon. And we're going to be talking about how to ditch your dead-end job and find a career you love, which is basically how to, if you're stuck in your day job and you don't know if it's right for you, or if you're just kind of like spinning your wheels on the job search and you're getting frustrated, we're going to kind of show you how to find your passion and find a career that you love. So that's really what we're going to be talking about. You guys are doing an awesome job of introducing yourselves, so keep up the good work. And you can also ask questions in that chat box. During the webinar, if you have questions, you can ask them there. You can also ask in the Q&A box. There should be a little tab down there that says Q&A. And then also download the workbook. It's just a workbook that will help you take notes, and you can jot down little notes along the way so that you remember what we were talking about. And then we'll talk about the giveaways that we're doing. So in the first 10 minutes, we're going to be giving away a practical guide to LinkedIn success, which is a really cool one. It's just basically walking you through how to be successful on LinkedIn. And then at the very end, we'll be giving away Anna's weekly to-do list, which is editable, not edible, but editable. So you can type on it on your computer and save it and download it and print it out. Or if you're just digital, you can just type on it and then save it and use that over and over and over again. So that's really fun. So wanted to welcome, we have lots and lots of people. Nyana from San Francisco, Stephanie from Maryland, Allison from Orlando, Florida, Amy, Los Angeles, Christina, New Jersey, Melanie giving me a courtesy laugh, which I always appreciate. Okay, so we got lots of people, 5 minutes until go time. So I will be introducing Anna Runyon very shortly to you. Claire from Norman, Oklahoma, welcome. Angela from Maryland, welcome. Wanda from North Carolina, welcome. I love this. Keep introducing yourselves. This is really fun. Nicole from Maryland. So we got a lot of East Coasters. I think I've seen like San Francisco and Los Angeles so far. A lot of East Coasters tonight. So it is, let's see, it's 5:30 here. So that's 8:30 there. Noemi from Austin, Texas. Catherine from Chicago. Shell from Connecticut. Welcome everybody. And Anna says, hi, John. Could that be Anna? Pilar from Virginia. Safi from Orlando. Very cool. I love this. Okay, I'll give you one more rundown of the instructions before I will turn my camera off and actually introduce Anna Runyon. And too much introductions, Loretta. Too much introductions. I know, there's so many introductions right now. Hello from Washington. Bermuda. Whoa, Jan from Bermuda Dunes, California. That's crazy. My mom lives in Bermuda Dunes, California, and her name is Jan. That's so weird. I wonder if you guys know each other. Welcome. Hello, Elizabeth from Washington, Lynn from Texas. This is fun. All right, so you're in the right place if you have joined the webinar called How to Ditch Your Dead-End Job and Find a Career You Love. And we're going to be talking about going from stuck in your day job to finding a career that you're passionate about. And that chat box that you're introducing yourselves in right now, go ahead and write your questions in there as well. And then also you can use the Q&A little tab to ask your questions during the webinar as well. You can download the workbook, which should be in your email, which just says download the workbook. It's just a handy dandy workbook to keep notes while we are going through the webinar, going through the content, and then the giveaways. So Bonus, after the first 10 minutes, we'll be giving away the practical guide to LinkedIn success. And then at the very end, if you stick around, we're giving away editable to-do list that Anna uses literally every week, which is pretty cool. So I will keep introducing people because we have lots of people. Lynn from Texas, Rachel from Ohio, Samantha from Georgia, Nancy from Wisconsin. Even Laura is here. Laura is on our team and she's in the Philippines and she made it here. What time is it there? It's probably like 7:30 in the morning. Laura, I'm glad that you're awake right now. Good job. You must have set your alarm clock. Ashley from Columbus, Ohio. Jennifer from Florence, South Carolina. Welcome, welcome. All right, so we're going to get started here. I am going to turn my camera off for just a brief moment while I introduce Anna, and then I will turn it back on and we will officially kick off this webinar. So I will be right back after the introduction. Welcome everyone to How to Ditch Your Dead End Job and Find a Career You Love. I am your host, John Runyon, for the evening, and I wanted to quickly remind you of a few things so you can download that webinar workbook in the email that you got earlier. It just says download workbook, and introduce yourselves in that chat box so we can say hi to you. It's always fun to say hi and see where people are from. And then I wanted to say also we are giving away a couple of bonuses within the first 10 minutes. We are giving away Practical Guide to LinkedIn Success. And then at the very end, if you stick around, we will be giving away a weekly to-do list. So you want to stick around for that. And I wanted to officially welcome you to the webinar and introduce you to your presenter, Anna Runyon. Anna is the founder of Classy Career Girl, which was named by Forbes as one of the top 35 most influential career sites of 2014. In case you haven't guessed, she is also my wife. And it's actually really, really fun that we get to do this together. She's probably one of the smartest people, most hardworking, most passionate about helping others that I've ever met. And so it's really cool to be able to do this and be on here together and watch her thrive in her passion. So it's really cool to be here tonight and also introduce you to Anna. She is the winner of the top 5 blogs for young professionals by Levo. She's an expert career coach at the Daily Muse. She was one of the top 15 experts to add to your Twitter feed by the Daily Muse. She's spoken internationally to 800 women at the Global Leadership Forum, Curitiba, Brazil. I know we have people from Brazil and we love it and we want to get back there and say hi to all of you. She's been on Fox 5 News. She's been on San Diego 6 News, ESPN, Forbes, The Wall Street Journal, Yahoo Finance, People Style Watch. Most recently, she was nominated as the San Diego Magazine Woman of the Year for 2016. So prior to founding Classy Career Girl in 2010, Anna worked for Booz Allen Hamilton, where she spent 8 years managing a client delivery team and managed $75 million in an annual budget for the US Navy. It's really cool living in San Diego because we actually get to see those Navy ships that Anna was in charge of the budget for. So that's kind of a side note. She's also a certified adjunct instructor at Booz Allen Hamilton and a professor of management at DeVry University. CCG's mission is helping 2,000 women launch dream careers and businesses by 2018. So with that, that's the official introduction, and I will give you the unofficial introduction. She can't whistle, which I have tried to teach her, and it's painful to watch her. It's physically impossible. One of the things we love to do is have dance parties in our living room with our 3-year-old daughter, who, don't get me started talking about her because I won't stop. I will just tell you that she is in ballet classes and she dances like a princess. She's also addicted to sour gummy worms, so please do not feed that habit. And with that, I will bring Anna Runyon back. And here we are.
Hello. I was hoping I'd have some.
And you're on mute.
Oh, I'm on mute. I was hoping. Well, you should be able to hear. Can you hear me?
And you're on mute.
You should be able to hear me. So let me just get started. Maybe there's.
Anna. I can't hear Anna.
Okay. Let me know if you guys can hear me. That's kind of important. So let me know in the chat if you guys are able to hear me.
We'll just keep going. Maybe we won't.
So basically,
I can hear you.
You can hear me.
That was super weird. I was gonna.
Maybe it's like delayed or something. But anyways, I was hoping you would bring me some sour gummy worms to start us off, to kick this off. But I don't have any.
I will not feed that habit. No.
Maybe afterward.
Maybe afterward. It'll be a surprise. Yay! We can hear. I see it in the chat. Everybody's like, "Yay! John figured it out! Yay! He can hear you."
John.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so now that we are officially getting started, I just wanted to give do you have like a quick high level overview of what we're going to be talking about today, just to give everybody an idea?
Yeah, so since working as a career coach since 2010, I've kind of summarized the 3 phases of your career. So we're going to dive into that. And if you've ever wanted to work with a career coach and just get a career checkup to see what you should do, this presentation will tell you exactly what your next step should be.
Perfect. Love it. Okay. Well, I will turn my camera off and officially hand it over to you, and I will be watching.
Awesome. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome to How to Ditch Your Dead-End Job and Find a Career You Love. I am your guide, Anna. And so what I really want to make sure you do is you clear all distractions, you turn off your email, your phone, everything that might distract you, because I promise you, if you listen to this entire webinar today, you're going to have a very clear action plan, and you're going to know exactly what you need to do next. And it's going to be so nice for you if you listen to the whole thing. So you're in the right place if you feel stuck in a rut and majorly need a change, you're unhappy, undervalued, and unfulfilled. Every time you think about making a change, you get overwhelmed just thinking of how to start job searching. So in today's webinar, I'm going to teach you how to determine what your dream job is, how to determine what your calling is, and little known easy strategies to use to get your career unstuck. I swear I've looked at this slide like a million times, and now finally I see a misspelling. Oh well, nothing is perfect, right? You just have to move on. And I'm also going to teach you the one thing you need to do before you start job searching. So if you guys are ready to find a career you love, please let me know. We're not alone here. Type yes in the chat box right now. You can see this picture on the screen. This is when John and I basically launched our dream careers, and we know what it's like. You can see I look very excited. My daughter is sleeping on me, but John looks a little scared. So we know what this is like. It's super exciting, but it's also kind of scary too. So that's why I thought this picture was the perfect definition of finding a career you love and making that leap, right? So like John said, there's going to be some giveaways today. We're going to give away a practical guide to LinkedIn profile success and my to-do list. I use every single week, and everyone on our team uses it too. It's amazing. So we'll be giving that out very, very soon if you guys stay with us. Totally free. Everyone gets it. It's not certain. We don't do things where certain people get it. We just give them all away to everyone who attends. And make sure you have the workbook. There's just some nice fill in the blank things there that's going to help give you the outline of what we're going to talk about tonight. Okay, so in case you've never been on one of my webinars before, I'm brand new to you, you're like, who is this girl talking about job searching? What does she know? And why is she talking about it? Well, in the beginning of my career, I started at Booz Allen Hamilton. I spent 8 years there as a consultant for the military, like John said in my introduction. Now, some of those years were amazing and wonderful, and then other years, I realized I was just a little stuck. I was not in the right career fit for me. I never really did, any analysis of what my dream career is and what career I should be in. I just kind of jumped into a career after college. Anyone else do the same thing? So basically, I just kind of felt stuck. I was stressed out. I was burnt out. I dreaded Monday mornings, and it just wasn't right for me. So what happened? What happens when you don't know what you should do next? You go get a graduate degree, right? So I went and got my MBA. Still, I was like 3 months to graduation of my MBA, and I still had no idea what I wanted to do. So clearly something wasn't working, and that wasn't the answer to my problems. But in business school, the benefit of business school is that I started a blog, and I gained confidence during my MBA program. To start this little blog, this anonymous blog, this is what the logo looked in 2010 when I started Classy Career Girl. It was all legs. Some of you guys have been around that long, I know, and it's really funny to look back on. So I started this little anonymous blog, just writing about what I was learning in business school and just trying to help people. And I also did a networking challenge where I'm an introvert. Still am an introvert, and networking is something I knew I needed to do in order to reach my career goals and my dreams, but I was scared. Like are there any other introverts here? Like, it was definitely something that was a little scary to do. So what I realized is that I did a networking challenge all of 2011, and I met with 4 people I did know and 4 people I did not know every single month for the entire year of 2011. And it totally changed everything for me. Not only did I gain more confidence, but I totally got out of my comfort zone, and I realized kind of the direction of what my dream career should be. So that's why I love talking about networking, especially to all the introverts in the house. I think tonight's going to be really helpful for you. And today I run Classy Career Girl. I'm founder and CEO, and I also run our Dream Job Accelerator program called Love Your Career Formula. It's the most comprehensive e-learning career platform in the world. And I also travel to women's groups, associations, universities. Like John said, we flew to Brazil to speak to a business school there, teaching the same stuff that I'm going to teach you tonight. So here's a picture of me in Brazil. This was like surreal. And this is what we're going to talk about, because this moment when I got on stage right here, my daughter's in the front row. You can't even tell that she's there. Somehow she slept. She's 3 months old. Somehow she slept through the whole thing, which was incredible. But this was when I realized I'm completing my purpose. I'm living my dream. This is my dream career. When I got on stage, if you guys can see, that's my picture in the back right there. Like, there's those 5 men on the bottom on the picture, and then on the top was like my picture on the screen. And it was just like, wow, this is my purpose, this is my calling, this is my dream career. And it's such an amazing feeling that I want all of you guys to feel that exact same way. And that's why I do what I do. So I truly believe there are too many people stuck in jobs they hate, never building enough confidence to do what they're meant to be doing. And that's really why I do what I do. If you've made it this far, if you're here with us today, it's because you carved out the time. And I'm so proud of you for being here, because that is the first step. And it's tough, right? Who has extra time these days? So I thank you for being here. Not only that, like, I'm so proud of you for carving out this time and for making you important and for making your dream important. And I truly believe that there's just too many people stuck in jobs they hate. And that's my mission. The more women I can help find careers they love, I truly believe that the more happier and the more successful those women will be. That's why our mission at Classy Career Girl is career fulfillment for all women. Career fulfillment is where everything starts. And I believe that if the entire world was fulfilled doing careers they love, we would have an awesome world, and it would be so different, and it would be amazing. And that's my goal. That's my mission. And that's what gets me out of bed. And I also believe other things like the gender pay gap, getting more women on boards, all that stuff that we see will change when we're focusing on career fulfillment, because you will be more successful in a career that you're really fulfilled in. So the good news is I have the formula to get your career unstuck, and I want you to come to me very soon and tell me that you found your dream job. And if you want to see behind the scenes, this is it. That's why I put this on the screen, because this is what I look like right now. There's a big old light and the camera and all that stuff, and my notes are here too. So that's a little behind the scenes for you. If you guys go to my Instagram account at Classy Career Girl, you can see a video that we just did right before this of our real behind the scenes. So one of the first things I always do with my clients is we talk about what is your ideal workday. And I want you to think about this. I want you to, make some notes here of if you could have the dream day from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed, like what does that consist of? Like what time do you wake up in the morning? What's the first thing you do? What do you eat? Do you have a lunch break? What type of work environment are you in? How do you get to work? Do you get up, you're out of your bed and work from home, or do you drive to work? What kind of team do you work with? I want you to really imagine what your ideal work day, because that's really the first step, is figuring out what you want. And then we find it. And we're going to talk a lot about that today. Vivian is a great example. I love telling stories. You're going to see in this presentation that you're going to see a lot of stories from our Love Your Career Formula members, because I think stories can really paint this picture so much better than just me talking, right? So let's talk about the real life story of Vivian figuring out what her ideal workday is first. So what happened is Vivian came to us. She was about to graduate college. She was extremely prepared, way more prepared than I ever was when I graduated college. And she went through this process that we're going to talk about today to figure out what her ideal workday was, so that by the time that she graduated, she actually got 3 job offers, and she was able to pick which of those job offers would fit her best. So many of us, if this happened to me when I was a college grad, I probably would have picked the one with most money, or, the one with the best perks, like, food in the office, or, something like that. But instead, she went by, which of these 3 jobs am I going to be most fulfilled at? Which one has my ideal workday? And that made all the difference, right? That has made her happy and successful over and over again every single year, because she decided to put her ideal workday first. So if you can't already tell, I'm truly obsessed with all things career development. I love talking about this stuff. And tonight we're going to talk about the top 5 mistakes that job searchers are making right now. And seriously, guys, listen to me, because I've been doing this since 2010, and there's a reason that our website was one of Forbes' top 35 most influential career sites. There's a reason why I've been asked to come on the news stations, and I've been quoted in Wall Street Journal and quoted in People Style Watch magazines. There's a reason why I've been asked to travel to Brazil to teach this stuff. It's because I know what works and what doesn't, and that's why you need to listen to this tonight. So the number 1 mistake is giving up. So I've heard all the excuses, time is a big excuse. The economy is another excuse. There's family concerns, there's money concerns, there's always reasons to give up, right? But if we never take those baby steps forward and we never move forward and take action, then we'll continually stay in this stuckness, right? Like, who wants to just repeat this staying stuck cycle? No one, right? So that's really the first mistake that I always see. The second one is no clear direction, not knowing what direction to go in, but just starting the online job search, just starting the job search without having any clear direction of what you should be doing. And a great example of this is Justine. Justine was one of my early clients. I have very fond memories of working with her. And when she came to me, she realized she was trying to find other HR jobs. She was in HR. She didn't like her career, but she was trying to find other HR jobs just because that's where she ended up. That's what, her parents thought was successful. That's what, she had experience in. And so that's where she just ended up. So she just started searching for HR jobs and was just getting totally stuck in the job search because she wasn't excited about HR. So when we went through what we're about to go through tonight, the What's My Calling College, she realized, yeah, HR really isn't my thing. I want to be a teacher. And once she found that new direction, opportunities just completely opened up for her because she was looking for the right direction for her, right? And then she became a teacher. She's super happy in what she does. And it's scary, right? It's scary to make that leap, but that's a great example of if you have clear direction, opportunities will come and your job search will be so much easier. The third mistake is not looking inward. And that's one thing Justine had to realize, like, what is it that she really wanted? It's not, starting outside what's available. It's like, what do you want first? And really spending the time answering a lot of the questions that we're going to ask you tonight. Mistake number 4, online job searching. I hate to say it, guys. This is where, or ladies, I should say, this is where most people start. It's not the best use of your time. It's one of the biggest wastes of your time, actually, because of applicant tracking systems. It's so hard to, number 1, get a real human to actually see your resume. And then number 2, there is a hidden job market, guys. There's so many people that are hiring that aren't using online systems and don't put their job descriptions out. And so it's really important that you're also not making number 5, the 5th mistake of not networking, because 80% of jobs are found through networking. So you really have to make this a priority, even if you're an introvert. If Fiona is someone that was an introvert when she came into my world, and I helped her by sharing my stories of being an introvert as well. And she realized, like, once she got over those, those first steps, like, we had her do some informational interviews, and she started to gain her confidence. And she said, as soon as she started doing those informational interviews, she realized there's nothing else she can't do. Like, it's just a matter of taking those baby steps and those first steps and meeting one person, and you continue to gain your confidence, and becomes a lot easier. So our first giveaway of the night, you guys can get the practical guide to LinkedIn profile success. And this is really going to help you create a great LinkedIn profile. So it's a great place to get started. Like I said, 80% of jobs are found through networking. So LinkedIn is a great place to be. Actually, 90% of recruiters look at LinkedIn when they review job applicants. So it's definitely somewhere you want to be. And you can download that at www.loveyourcareerformula.com/LinkedIn. Okay, questions to help you discover your dream career. This is by far one of the most common questions I'm asked. How do I figure out what my dream career is? Well, the first question you want to ask yourself is, what did you like and not like about your previous career experiences? So I can quickly tell you that my prior career experiences, I was in finance, and I didn't like it, right? So that would be on my list. Like, I don't like finance, don't go into those opportunities. What did I like? I liked teaching finance. I liked training and coaching other people in finance. There was things about my job that I did like. So making those two lists is really, really important. The other question you want to ask yourself is, if you could do anything without failing, what would your dream job be? So get out of your mind, like, failing, oh, what if I fail? Because it's so common to think that. But start thinking of, if you could do anything, like, if it could be a success, what would that be? Because we have to start thinking that it is going to be a success, right? Mary Ellen came to us, and she had lost her confidence. She had some stuff that was happening in her personal life. And so she had lost her confidence, and she didn't really believe that it was possible to have her dream career, which was in training and development. She wanted to do training and development and do online learning for companies. And once I asked her this question, if you could do anything without failing, what would your dream job be? It's like, it opens up the opportunities. And I can't ask you personally, every single person on tonight, exactly this question. So I want you to ask yourself this question, because you can do it. It might not happen overnight, and that might not happen tomorrow, but if you really want that dream, you just have to take steps towards that dream. And then you can be like Mary Ellen, who comes to me and says, I got an offer today. It's exactly what I want, because she had that focus, right? She had that vision of where she was headed and what she wanted to do. So she built up her confidence along the way. And the third question we've already talked a little bit about tonight: what is your ideal workday? So important to figure out your ideal workday first before starting the job search. And what would it feel like to find a career you love? So we want to start visualizing the positive, right? Visualizing what it would feel like. This is what I did. I had a vision journal, a vision board. I was constantly looking at affirmations and looking at the vision that I wanted my life to have someday. And this is what Josie did too. Some of you guys might have heard about Josie's story, but Josie was stuck in a rut, and her work was, she was bringing it home. I've totally been there too. She was bringing home, like, a lot of the yucky stuff, right? The gunk of a bad work environment, bringing it home. And it was just affecting her relationships in every area of her life. Her and her husband were like, we're not happy, and we need to make a decision. Like, we need to make a change. And so they made a commitment to make that change. And one of the things Josie did, and credits to her success, is that every single morning she said what she was grateful for. So she started focusing on the positive and what it would feel like to find a career she loved. She created a vision board for the first time, and she put that up and looked at that every single day and started focusing on what it would feel like to find her dream job. And she ended up getting her dream job and actually moving to Florida. So she got a job in a different state, which is awesome. Just staying positive and looking at that vision. And there's a lot of other things that go into it, but this is the most important thing, that mindset piece. And the last question is, what is your goal and your timeline to find a career you love? Because we can always say, oh, maybe later I'll do that. But I want you to write down right now, like, when do you want this to happen? We have, a few more months left to 2017. How are you towards your 2017 goals? Like, what still needs to happen over the next 3 months to get you to that goal before 2018 starts, or to set you up for success? So 2018 can be incredible. Now is the time to write down that goal of when you want to find a career you love. So now we're going to dive into what's my calling college. And this is so important. This is what so many people miss when they start the job search. They just start online job searching, or they update their resumes or LinkedIn, but they forget this whole section that I'm about to cover today. I'm not here to get you another paycheck. I'm here to help you determine the career you were born to do. There's a big, big difference. So it's not just to find another job. That's, you can go find another job, but I'm here to help you determine the career you were born to do. And we do that with What's My Calling College. Tracy is a great example of this. She came into Love Your Career Formula with an idea that she maybe could be a business owner someday. She wanted to check out entrepreneurship, but way too scared to make that leap. And she didn't really know if that was the right career for her. So starting here and starting in What's My Calling College really helped her outline whether being an entrepreneur would be right for her. And if that was the right path for her and her calling and what she was supposed to be doing, because she was so wrapped up in the corporate world and had been doing it for 15 years. And so starting here in What's My Calling College really helped her figure out her calling, really helped her figure out that entrepreneurship was the right path for her. And that is the path that she took. And that is why, she says on the screen, that's why her business as a virtual assistant has blown up and grown so quickly, is because she did What's My Calling College, and she did the self-assessment first, right? She figured out, okay, is this the right path for me? And number two, what type of business is the best for me? And that's what helped her start that business that was right, so she could have more success. This is me with Rose talking about all things career development, because I could talk about this all the time, right? So I had to throw this slide in. But big picture, like, as you can tell, this is my calling. I could do this. I just had to look at the time, because I could talk about this for hours and hours. I could write about this stuff for hours and hours. And that's what I want you to figure out, is what is your calling? What is that thing you could do for hours and hours? So the first thing in What's My Calling College is to figure out what your personality is, because not all personalities are the right fit for every type of career. So people are all different, right? Some types of personalities aren't right for certain types of careers. So you need to dive deep and take that personality assessment to figure out what the best career fit could be for you, and have that in mind when you comes to job searching. This is Susan. She is a former Love Your Career Formula member, and when she took the personality assessment that we have in Love Your Career Formula, and she took it, and she realized that all of her career experiences, like 30 years or 25 years, I'm not quite sure, of career experience, this is why she was so stuck, is because she was in roles that didn't fit her personality. She was in work environments that didn't fit her personality. She was doing things that didn't fit her personality. So can you imagine knowing that right now, knowing this before you get, later on in your career? It's going to just open up. I know it did for me too. When I learned what my personality was, it now helps me manage my team and figure out what tasks I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing. The second objective in What's My Calling College is feedback. So we want to ask others around us for feedback. We want to ask them, what are our strengths? What do they see that we do really well at? Because sometimes we're blind, right? Sometimes we don't think that we do a very good job at anything, when reality is there's things that we're really good at. So ask your family members, your friends, your coworkers, ask them for feedback. I did this with my boss one time. I asked him, like, what do I excel at? What do I do well at? And he was able to tell me, and it was very, very helpful to know that and to have that feedback. The third objective is your purpose and your mission statement. So why do you get out of bed every morning and go to work? You have to be very clear on your why. Like, your purpose is what gets you out of bed. So if that alarm clock goes off and you're just like, oh, I don't want to go to work today, there's probably something wrong with your purpose. Jen on our team actually just posted this morning, like, what makes you jump out of bed and get to work? And that's the purpose. That's your mission. That's why you do what you do. And if you don't have clarity in that, you're going to be off. Your work environment, your work is just going to be off. Okay, so we talked about objective 4 a lot, ideal work day, but what about your ideal work environment? This is really, really important, because if you don't know what your ideal work environment is, you could be put into a work environment that just doesn't fit. I know as an introvert, as someone who likes to focus on the Strengths Finder, which is the personality assessment that we use in Love Your Career Formula, my number one strength is focus. And so when I go back to my prior corporate job, I realized that's why it didn't fit so well for me, because I was constantly getting interrupted. Like, my client would come to me like 5 times an hour telling me to do something. I couldn't focus. And that's my number one strength. So can you imagine if you're not living your strengths, then it's just stuff is going to feel off. And so that's a complete work environment issue. Like, I should not have been in that work environment where I could get interrupted that many times. I needed to get myself out of that work environment so I could focus. So thinking about your work environment, thinking about the type of culture that you want to work in, the type of company that you want to work in. And then when it comes time to going to do your interview, you'll know so much, you'll have so many better questions to ask the interviewer. You'll be almost interviewing them to make sure that work environment matches up with the work environment that you want. Okay, so post in the chat. We want to hear from you what you're learning, any light bulbs that you're having. We want to hear from you in the chat. The 5th objective is your interests. So your interests are those things that you've had since you were a child. They're things that you're interested in, that you spend your free time on. They're your passions. You could do them for hours and hours and not get bored. One of my interests is influencing others, right? So when I think back to my childhood, I remembered when I learned this, I remembered that I started a Save the Earth Club when I was like in 3rd grade. There was 1 other people in it, and we would like run around to our parents and tell our parents to stop their showers and to decrease the amount of time that they spent in showers or washing their hands because they're wasting water. And we had a Save the Earth Club. So all that to say is you can see those same interests going back to my childhood as I have today. Of course, we're on this webinar. I'm trying to influence and help people, and that's one of my interests. Motivations and values. Motivations and values can change throughout your lifetime. So it's important, if you haven't thought about this in maybe a few years, to evaluate this. These are things that motivate you to go at work. So what motivates you at work? Is it, if your boss came and said, you're going to get a raise, would you be like, yes, I am so motivated to work hard? Or would you be like, I want more free time off. Like, I want to go to Europe. Like, give me more time off. I don't want to raise. Like, what motivates you? Is it, or do you want more time alone? Like, I needed time alone. I needed autonomy when I was in my work environment, so I could work on my strengths, right? So what are your values? And now today, family is number 1 important for me. I don't even think we've had a picture of our daughter on the screen yet. I had some of those pictures. I think they got removed in my final review because she's super cute and she motivates me, right? Like, that's why I do what I do, so I can spend time with her, and she's my priority as well as John. And we just want to have fun together and travel and live a happy life together and have time for each other. So that's really, really important and something we value. Vicky, she came to us. She already had a career she loved, but she wasn't getting terminated. Her contract was coming to an end, right? So it was all good. She was leaving on good terms. And she joined Love Your Career Formula to figure out what her next move is. And what she did in What's My Calling College is this values and motivations piece was so important for her. At the end, when she ended up finding her dream job, she realized that this was the first job she took because it matched up with her values and beliefs. And she was so proud that she had finally, for the first time ever, chosen a job that for her values first, for herself first, instead of salary, location, the pay raise, like all the other stuff that could come with it. She chose her values first, and it just made her so happy in her career. So that's why this is so important. Then comes your favorite skills. So we all have skills, right? But which ones are your favorites? I mentioned that I was in finance before for my 8 years at Booz Allen Hamilton. I was great at finance and, got an A in finance, and I could do pivot tables like crazy, and it was awesome, except I hated finance. So we tend to get ourselves in these careers that we are skilled at, we're good at. I was getting raises and promotions, and everyone thought like she loves her job because she's good at her job. I was good at my job, but I hated my job because those weren't my favorite skills. So you got to figure out what your favorite skills are. The other skills I had, like teaching and training and coaching, those were skills, those were my favorite skills. So you got to follow that path, right? Follow the path of your favorite skills. And that leads to your prior work experience. So this is important to start thinking about those challenges that you have faced in your prior work experience and how you have moved past those challenges, the accomplishments that you've had. Because before we even start, like notice here, we haven't talked about resumes or LinkedIn yet, because before we even start talking about resumes and LinkedIn, we have to know your prior work experience and figure out what those big accomplishments that you have had. And all of that is going to lead into figuring out your next step, figuring out your calling and your dream job. So What's My Calling College was just one part. Let's move on now to the moment you've been waiting for, the really fun part. I love teaching this part, the big picture, right? What's My Calling College is one part. Let's move on to the big picture, which is the Love Your Career Formula, the 3 phases of Love Your Career Formula, and the 3 phases of your entire career. So we have 3 phases: the explorer phase, job searcher phase, and leader phase. I have slides for all these, so don't worry, it's coming. We'll go in depth into all of these phases. But the important thing to realize is no matter what phase you're at, it's totally fine. So don't feel like, oh, I should be in phase 2 when you're only in phase 1. It's totally fine. And a lot of people cycle through this, right? So a lot of people get to the leader phase and then they're like, I need to do something else. And this happens over and over again in Love Your Career Formula, where they start back at phase 1, and it's just kind of like this cycle. There's nothing wrong with going back to phase 1 and figuring out, okay, I'm ready for my next career, right? Probably have a lot of you guys on the call tonight who are ready for that next thing, right? You've done this for so long. What's the next thing? And so totally fine to go through different phases again. So I'll be telling you how you can get access to our e-learning platform, Love Your Career Formula, in a few minutes. But first, I want you to get crystal clear on where you're at right now. So of these 3 phases, let us know in the comments which phase you are at right now. We'd love to hear in the chat box. So phase 1 is explorer. You are an explorer. If you don't know what career you want, you lack direction and focus, and you're tired of being stuck in a job that doesn't fit you. You're ready to find your ideal career fit. So What's My Calling College that we just covered, that's in the explorer phase. So that's really where the starting point. So what's life like at this phase? At this phase, you're going to be confused and frustrated. You'll feel like you're wasting time. You're jealous that other people know what they want to be when they grow up, and you don't. You're frazzled by your calendar and your to-do list. You aren't in control of your life. You feel stuck and lost and scared to fail. You're scared to fail, and you're not excited about job searching, and you're scared you'll never get hired and succeed. So Nicole came to Love Your Career Formula, and she started in this phase 1, explorer phase. So if you're starting here, you might be the same as Nicole, where she really struggled working a day job and also trying to make a career transition. So she struggled in the time management area. And she found that she really needed to do some productivity steps, really put a productivity plan in place so that she would have more free time to be able to work on herself and her career development. And she also needed time to be able to do informational interviews, which is really what led to her dream job. She found a job as a florist, and that was what she decided was her dream job. And so she went towards that, but she needed to carve out that time to focus on her career and her productivity plan and her informational interviews. And that's really a lot of the steps in the explorer phase. Step 1, getting your productivity plan put in place, getting your mindset ready for success, conquering your fears. We all have fears, right? Determining your direction, putting a 90-day plan in place, identifying your calling and your purpose, completing those informational interviews to learn more about certain types of career fields, and then completing your ideal career outline. Because by the end of the explore phase, you know what your dream career is, which is really exciting. Carolina has a fun story because she came to us and she wanted to start a business, but she had so much so many like fears and mindset issues. She was still working a day job. And so we started right here in the explorer phase, working on her mindset and conquering her fears, because that's so important when starting her business. And she ended up starting, she was started as business as a consultant, working with leaders. Oh, and she was from Chile too. I meant to say that because we have so many members from around the world, and it's amazing. And I love being able to work with people, because I know we have a lot of people here from everywhere around the world, and we're sitting here in our living room. So that, I love sharing that story of Carolina. So then you move on to the phase 2, which is the job searcher phase. So you are a job searcher if you know what your ideal career is and you're now ready to find it. You're ready to work on your resume and your cover letter. You're also ready to start applying for jobs, expand your network, and practice those interview skills. But what is life like at this phase? You're going to feel like you're on a hamster wheel. You'll be frustrated not knowing how to network. You'll think your resume is ugly and want to throw your computer out the window while you're online job searching. Anyone been there? Yeah. You'll be lost as how to stand out and differentiate yourself, and you'll have interview anxiety. You'll feel like your career options have evaporated. You'll be scared you won't be able to handle future opportunities, but you'll also be really excited about new opportunities ahead. So some of the steps that you'll want to take if you're in this phase is to execute your strategic networking action plan, conquer your networking barriers, create your resume branding strategy, create a personalized resume and cover letter that matches who you are 100% and that you are proud of, because I can't tell you, resumes that you're proud of, that's what we want to get you to. Prepare to nail your interviews, prepare to negotiate the salary you deserve, ensure your online reputation matches your personal brand. So Sarah has a lot of stuff to share with us, and I really wanted to, I quoted her here because I think how she handled the job searcher phase is really inspiring to me, because she went through this, she knew what her dream career was, and she ended up getting a job at Joann Fabrics as a sourcing coordinator. So she used her passions, she spent time in phase 1 to figure out what her passions were, and she used that in order to then go into phase 2 to sync both her passions and her dream job, which I think is an incredible story. And so she really liked making clothes, and that's what she did in her spare time. That was what she was interested in. So here's what Sarah said. I hope this helps someone today. She said, if they don't give you that offer, something better will come along, because this is really what we focus on in the job searcher phase, right? You're applying a lot, you're interviewing a lot, you may not always get the offer. So you have to know something better will come along. You just have to keep going. You've got to persevere and act like it doesn't matter, because you're going to find something better and it's their loss. I love that. Just like, I love when she said it, because I was like, yes, it is their loss, because after you've done the phase 1 work, you know that you have a lot to offer a company, and it builds your confidence. And you can see how confident Sarah was. That's probably why she nailed her interview, because she had so much confidence to be like, take it or leave it, right? Like, I am awesome. You want me in this role. And then Megan's story, Megan I went to high school with, and she messaged me the other day, and she said that she downloaded the resume templates that we have in Love Your Career Formula, and she sent it out, and she already got an invitation for an interview from the employer that she sent it to one day, right? So I say this because I want you to know you don't have to start from scratch. You don't have to start with a blank resume template, right? We've been doing this for so long. It's tried and tested. And so if you're frustrated with the resumes and like all the job searcher stuff in this phase 2, just know that you don't have to start from scratch, and you can get the help and support that you need. Anisha's story is awesome because she ended up being able to get a 20% pay raise because she had figured out, she had done that inward work, and it helped her figure out the right path. And so she had the confidence then, because she knew she was right. Like, this was the right path. This was what she was born to do. When it came time to talk about salary, she asked for a 20% raise, and she got it because they wanted her. They knew she would be successful because she was so passionate about it. And not only that, this is what I love, what she said, getting the 20% pay raise made me feel good about going into the job, because it doesn't just end when we get the job. That's not my goal. We don't just stop in phase 2. We want you to succeed and be proud of that career and succeed as in the next phase, but in that role. And so going through phase 2 job search process the right way, the job search, the applicant process, the resume, the LinkedIn, the salary negotiation, going through it the right way is going to help you become more proud of the job you got. And it's going to lead into an effective first 90 days and all that stuff, leading into phase 3, which is the leader phase. And you are a leader if you have a job you love and now want to get ahead and raise the bar. You're ready to up-level your career, get promoted, and achieve the success you know is possible for you. You know you want to make a big impact in the world, and you can't do it where you're at right now. So what's life like at this phase? You're stuck in a level at work, and you know you can rise above it. You have more potential than where you're at right now. You sometimes have issues speaking up at work, and you don't know how to build a support network or get a mentor. You lack female role models and are unsure how to balance having children and your career. And you lack confidence negotiating with men and struggle every day to find balance. You are scared you'll never get promoted and be able to manage a team well. So here are the steps in the leadership phase. You're going to learn how to wow your employer in the first 90 days, because that's the first 90 days are more important than ever. It's just, we don't just get you the job, we want you to succeed in that career as well. So we want to help you gain confidence in the work you do and learn how to communicate effectively with your team and build a tribe around you that supports and mentors you. We want to help you learn what your strengths are and how to use those strengths to lead with your strengths in your role. And then learn how to delegate all those tasks that are not your strengths, gain respect and improve your negotiation skills, build a promotion plan and a career development action plan, and learn secrets for successfully working with men. If you guys didn't know, I have written the book, The Professional Woman's Guide to Managing Men. You can actually find it on Amazon, I swear to you. And it will also teach you how to grow your tribe and gain mentorship from role models and utilize our get-ahead strategies on a daily basis. Christina is one who jumped into the Female Leadership Academy, which is what we have in this phase 3. It's called the Female Leadership Academy. She had a career. She loved a career. She was doing well, but she wanted to plan out the next step, right? She wanted to always be growing, because this is the never-ending process of your career, right? She always wanted to be improving her skill set, her experiences, her resume. She was always improving herself. And that's why I give her so much credit, because a lot of us, we get comfortable in the jobs, right? Like, we've been doing this so long, we're really good at it, but we're not always looking at the next year or the next 5 years and like where we want to take our careers to go. And so that's why I like sharing Christina's story of how she was able to use a lot of the stuff we teach in this phase 3 leader phase to continue to get new opportunities sent to her every single day, because she continually worked on herself. So she definitely became in top demand. So I want to revisit now, why are you here today? Why are you on this webinar right now? Are you here because you know it is time for a change? You want a career that makes you happy and fulfilled, and you're looking to see bigger results with your job search effort, and you want to know what's working now. So if you're here with me today, and if you've seen the value that I've provided in this presentation, it's time for you to make a choice. Do you want to go through this entire process, the whole job search career transition process by yourself? Just keep in mind that the whole job search process has changed with the digital age, with social media, with job applications and applicant tracking systems. Job search is way different than it used to be, but you can make that time to do it yourself. But the question is, do you really have the time to figure it all out on your own? So if you don't want to do it on your own, and if you would like me to help guide you and lead you through all these phases to a successful career, then I definitely want you to make a choice today. I want to introduce you to Love Your Career Formula. Love Your Career Formula is a step-by-step dream job accelerator and the most comprehensive career e-learning platform in the world. Our unique formula, success path, and inspiring weekly pushes have helped women from around the globe find fulfilling careers where they can make a difference, get paid what they're worth, and achieve their professional goals and dreams. Our previous clients have used this proven formula to get interviews, get hired, and succeed in their new dream careers with just 30 minutes a day. And Love Your Career Formula was specifically designed for women making a career transition, and it's structured to help you get results easier, and a whole lot faster. So the real value in Love Your Career Formula is so much more than the investment than you can make today, because our member rate is so much more affordable and gives you the career coaching support whenever you need it in our private members forum. So I'm going to give you the what and the how. I'm going to show you what you need to do to make that career transition, and then I'm going to teach you exactly how to do it as well. So here's what's truly amazing. Love Your Career Formula gives you way more life-changing plans and inspiration than you could ever receive working alone with a career coach. Our process is tried and tested, and our weekly pushes tell you exactly what you need to do every single week. So a lot of the questions we get is like, how much time is this going to take? I don't have much time. So I've done the hard work, so it's way easier for you. I've done so much for you. I have been through exactly what you're going through, and I don't want you to reinvent the wheel. So we give you a bite-sized step and a push each week that should take no longer than 30 minutes. And after that, you can go at your own pace. You can move forward faster if you have more time on your hands. So let me give you a sneak peek at what you get when you become a member. In orientation, you'll get prepped to be successful in Love Your Career Formula. You'll get in the right mindset for success. You'll manage your calendar and prioritize your dreams. You'll create your 90-day plan and map out your goals. You'll create your vision board and learn how to conquer your fears. And you'll also download your action plan and get ready to dive in. And then in the core part, that's really like the heart of the program. That's where you'll learn the formula to identify and find your ideal career. You'll learn how to find the career you were born to do, how to create a networking action plan that gets results. You'll learn networking and LinkedIn tips and tricks, and you'll have the resume and cover letter success formula. You'll also receive over 20 examples of networking scripts and templates, interview and salary negotiation tips that will get you hired, and you'll also create your personal branding and online reputation program. In the advanced, so if you're more advanced, we have plenty of advanced content for you as well. We're gonna help you create and attract ideal career opportunities automatically. So you'll learn how to leverage social media, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn. You'll learn how to transition to a different industry with no experience. You'll also learn how to wow your employer the first 90 days of employment, and you'll also assess if entrepreneurship is right for you. You'll get promoted, enhance your leadership strengths, and learn how to manage a team, and find a mentor, create your tribe, and always have amazing opportunities coming at you. So what we covered tonight is just a small piece of the entire Love Your Career Formula. There's so much more for you inside. Some examples are here on the screen, like figuring out how to, online job search and how the strategy for that, how to gain new skills and experiences, how to create your networking calendar and brainstorm potential career options, as well as resume and cover letter structure and templates. And it wouldn't be an amazing program if I didn't have a few bonuses up my sleeve. So right off the bat, you'll have access to the Accelerate Your Leadership Challenge. So this is for you if you're struggling with self-doubt and confidence and you're afraid to speak up and hesitant to be who you really are. This bonus will give you clarity so you can finally be marketable and more confident to grow and lead in your career. And then also the second bonus, this is an incredibly important part in making a career transition in the digital age. I'll show you step-by-step how to use social media to find your dream job. We'll dive into Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter. I'll even teach you how to use Facebook and how to find a job, and as well as how to use a blog to find a job as well. This bonus alone is worth the price of admission because there's truly nothing else like this on the market right now as this socially hired bonus. You'll also get a side hustle school because this is really the entrepreneur track. I've had so many people come to me in the Facebook group considering starting a business, but not sure if it's right for them. So this is for you if you want to narrow down your ideas and you really want the first steps that you need to take to start a business. We've included that as a bonus in Love Your Career Formula. So what should this cost? We surveyed a lot of our members in Love Your Career Formula, and they said $2,000 was a good price for this because of how much value you get inside of Love Your Career Formula that can help you with raises and with promotions, as well as not to mention like the price of taking a college course these days, right? And how much more information that you'll receive in Love Your Career Formula. And in my research to become a career coach, $2,000 is also like the average price that most career coaches charge to deliver this information and work with clients. But it's not $2,000. It's not even $1,000 because we want to make this so affordable for everyone. We want really there to be no barriers to helping women find career fulfillment. And so we've really broken it down So it's $100 initiation fee plus $39 a month. So there's no contract, so you can cancel anytime. So that is the rate, the investment that you would make to become a Love Your Career Formula member tonight. So a lot of people ask, why do I have to pay an initiation fee? So here's what it is. The $100 initiation fee covers initial setup and processing and administrative costs, because our team has to do a bunch of stuff when people join. But we've decided that the fax action bonus, so if you purchase before we close our doors on September 21st at 11:59, we are waiving the $100 initiation fee. So it's only $39 a month. And we're really doing this because we believe that this is so important for everyone. Like, there's no person that should not go through Love Your Career Formula because of how much you'll learn about yourself and how much it can change your career and your life. So we really want it to make it no barriers for anyone. So if you're wondering if you can afford it, you really have to analyze, the best career coaches charge at least $250 per coaching session, or over $400 for a great resume writer. And also, I want you to consider the cost of getting a degree or a master's, because MBA programs can cost almost $100,000. And they don't even teach you, I know this because I got mine, how to find your ideal career fit. And worse, what would it cost you if you did nothing at all? If you stayed stuck in that same boring job for years with no changes? To have the success you want in your life, you've got to do things differently. And the way you're going to do that is by investing in yourself and joining a community of women that will support you. Because what you need on day one is very different than what you need on day 100. And that is the best part of our training program, Love Your Career Formula, is we can be with you throughout all your phases in your career, right? It's not just like a one-time call with a career coach. What you need on day one is very different than what we can provide you on day 100. So we're with you through this entire journey. And your career growth doesn't end after 1 month. So this isn't like a 5-week boot camp or anything like that. We want to journey through your career with you. And we don't want there to be any more confusion as well. So no more confusion with your job search. You'll know exactly what you need to do, because every single week we'll send you your to-do list. Like, here's what you need to do this week with what phase you're in. So enrollment in Love Your Career Formula, or we call it LYCF, could change everything for you. And I want to invite you to become a member of Love Your Career Formula. So here's the deal. If you want to join us and check out Love Your Career Formula, you can go to www.loveyourcareerformula.com to get all the bonuses that we discussed tonight and to get the initiation fee waived. So you definitely want to check that out. Like I said, I am so confident in this program. I've been doing this since 2010. I am 100% confident in this program. So you can cancel anytime. There is no contract. I think you're going to love it. And so we would love to see you inside. Who is this training for? We get this question a lot. So Love Your Career Formula works for all levels of women and all types of interests and passions. We've helped executives, unemployed women, stay-at-home moms, recent grads, mid-level professionals, and entrepreneurs. We've had lawyers and doctors and teachers and marketing experts and personal trainers in the community too. So the system really is for everyone. And you'll see once you get into our community that there is so many different types of people in there. And this is a quick snapshot of some of the amazing ladies that are in our Love Your Career Formula. We try and do meetups here and there, which are always fun to meet our members in person. So if you're getting excited to join us, this is what you get. You get the complete success library immediately. You'll get a weekly push email with a bite-sized weekly action plan. You'll have an opportunity to find an accountability partner and access to me and other career experts in our members-only Facebook group. You'll also get weekly personalized motivation and inspiration to keep you going, and a community of positive support to keep you motivated. So here, enough talking about me. Let's turn it over to our members, right? So these are the times that I love is when I open up my Facebook and I see these pop up. Erin's guy got the job, like, so excited. Look how many exclamation marks she has after that. Like, it's such an amazing feeling, and I celebrate with you all when this happens. Same with Yolanda. I got the job. New beginnings await. I thank God, my husband, Anna, and all you awesome ladies for guidance, patience, and support. Have a great weekend. Like, it's so fun to go through this process with everyone from start to finish. And Tamara, she says, I love LYCF. Anna, and I've started writing out my daily goals as the beginning process of developing better time management habits. Little things we talk about in the phase 1 of Love Your Career Formula that can really change everything for you. This places me closer to better organizational skills and a less cluttered in mind toward my business and my career goals. She is taking baby steps. And then Josie, when she came to us and she shared that she was offered her job in Miami. So a lot of people think, I want to say this because a lot of people think it's so hard to find a job in a different city. Well, Josie did it using the formula. So it can happen. And now she's so happy. She said the offer was better than she even expected, which I hear a lot. And then Donna just emailed us the other day. She said, I used one of the resume templates you sent and I got an interview within 30 minutes of submitting my resume. So you can find all of our resume templates and just get started immediately if you go to www.loveyourcareerformula.com. Christina's story, I mentioned her a little bit previously, but she said, I'm so excited I get to grow and try something new all the time. She doesn't feel stuck anymore because she went through that phase 3. She went through all the phases, but she really focused on that phase 3 to now have so many opportunities have opened for her since she started the program. And then Vivian rocks. She's that college grad that I told you about in the very beginning of this webinar tonight. She said she emailed me and said, I got 3 job offers in 1 week. Can you imagine, like, you know, all these college grads are struggling to find jobs. And then here's Vivian graduating. She's got 3 job offers using the formula. She said, I'm so elated. Words cannot even explain how happy I am. I got 3 job offers in 1 week. I knew how to decide which one fit me best. Honestly, this has been such a great investment to talk to someone about my career concerns. And that's really what it is. We all have these like career questions, and we want to support you and guide you through this. Danielle, another one of our success stories, within a month and a half, I had accepted a new job offer. I recommend Anna's course to all my friends who don't know what to do next in their career. And funny story about Danielle, it's not actually that funny, is she dove into Love Your Career Formula and she was trying to get her friends to come with, right? She was like, I'm joining this Love Your Career Formula. I want you to join. And she was like trying to get her friends to do it with her. And they said no. She said yes. And she stepped up and she did it. And what happened was, like you can see on the screen, she had a new job within a month and a half, and her friends a year later were still stuck and complaining about their same jobs. So who do you want to be, right? Do you want to be Danielle, or do you want to be the friends that just stay in the position, unhappiness, unfulfillment that they're in and never make that change? So because I want you guys all excited to dive in tonight, we wanted to give you a webinar bonus. So if you purchase Love Your Career Formula while you are on the webinar tonight at www.loveyourcareerformula.com, we have a special bonus for you. It is the master collection of my best call recordings. Like I said, I've been doing this since 2010, so I went through all of them and I found you the best ones that I think are going to really help you. These are the coaching calls that I did with my clients. So it'll be like you're almost on the phone with us, right? You'll get to hear other people and how I answer their questions. And I think it's going to really help you. So you'll get that bonus if you purchase while we're on the webinar tonight before we end. So really you can get started right away. Once you register, it's all waiting for you right now. You can get your action plan. You can get started immediately at loveyourcareerformula.com. When you join us, you'll gain clear direction, clarity and confidence, less stress and overwhelm, a targeted resume, LinkedIn profile and cover letter, a support community, accountability, and a networking action plan, and new strategies for your job search for the hidden job market. And you'll be 100% prepared to nail your next interview or start a new business if that's the direction you decide, and you'll have new opportunities coming to you. So here's what will happen next. If you go to www.loveyourcareerformula.com, this is what you'll see on the screen. On the top section, you'll want to click that pretty green button because that will get you to the registration page. You'll also see a countdown timer, so you want to pay attention to that because once doors close and that countdown timer gets to 0 on September 21st, then we will be closing doors. So Q&A is still coming. I know we've had a lot of questions coming in, so John's taking care of all those questions right now. We also have one more giveaway. We're giving away the weekly to-do list that I use every week, but I want you to know that doors will close. We do close doors on September 21st at 11:59 p.m. Pacific, so we can stop promoting. We've been promoting a lot, right? So we're going to switch and we're going to start serving our members because we promote because we want to help people change their lives, right? Like, we're all about making an impact. And so we want to help you make that leap and make that decision. But we're going to stop talking about Love Your Career Formula, and we're just going to serve our members and be in the Facebook group and help them and support them. We already have a call coming up next week to help our new members. And so that is the plan. So if you sign up, you can check your email. You'll receive an email with your login information immediately. If you don't, just check your spam. And then this is what you'll see when you log in. You'll want to go to the Start Here section. We have a brand new member orientation. So you'll want to take that. That'll have the membership site tour. That'll introduce you to our community and our community manager. And it will also help you take an assessment to help you identify your phase. So if you've gone through tonight and you don't know which phase you're in, well, our assessment will tell you where you should start. And then we'll also have a little introductory training on our success path, way more information than what we covered tonight to help you have success in Love Your Career Formula. We're all about getting you set up for success. And you'll also want to join immediately our Love Your Career Formula Facebook group, because that is where all of our support staff and our community manager, John and Ida are, as well as me, checking in there every single day and supporting our members and really answering questions, whatever we can do to support you in that career transition. So you'll definitely want to get in there for all of the great announcements. Also want to introduce you, Jen. You'll be seeing her a lot. Jen Kuiper. She's in our Facebook group, Love Your Career Formula. She's the community manager. So you'll be seeing me and her in there, and we'll be supporting you and helping you as much as we can. I want to leave you with the Love Your Career Formula manifesto. This is a brand new manifesto we call the people who step up to become Love Your Career Formula members. We call you LYCF leaders, because you are a new kind of professional woman building the career she was born to do with less stress and more fulfillment. An LYCF leader doesn't work for a paycheck or stay stuck in a role that doesn't fit her like others do. She wants to reach her full potential while also living the dream life she imagines. She wants to be happy and make a difference because she knows life is too short to hate her 9-to-5. So if that resonates with you whatsoever, we would love to share with you our entire manifesto. That's just the beginning part, and help you really live that more career fulfillment. So you can join us at loveyourcareerformula.com. This is my final slide. So at this point, we have a couple things on. Oh, the one thing I do want to say, if you have any questions registering, we have a great customer support team waiting to help you, and you can contact support@classycareergirl.com if you have any questions. Also on that page, loveyourcareerformula.com, we also have a little chat box, and so that should pop up. If you have any questions, you can chat with our team and just help you get whatever question answered, so you can move forward and we can support you in your journey. Remember, the webinar bonus ends when this webinar is over. The webinar bonus is the calls with me, my best coaching calls, and we'll have doors open until September 21st at 11:59 Pacific, and we'd love to have you join us. So John, do we have any questions that have come in? Are you here with us? Oh, now I can't hear John. Oh, there you go.
No, I'm back. I was just answering a question, actually, so I was distracted. But yes, absolutely. We actually have a ton of questions that have come in, so we will get to those and try to answer all your questions because we want to make sure that we answer all your questions, so there's nothing that is left out. But awesome presentation, by the way. That was really, really good. Well done. Before we get to all the live questions, I do want to just bring up a couple of common questions that they always come up. So these are like the frequently asked ones. So we can address these. They always come up. What if I need individual career coach? Are there options for that included?
Yeah, so there's not individual career coaching, but you do have the opportunity to ask me any question you want in the Facebook group. Also, if you're looking for more like accountability, we are going to be have an opportunity to find an accountability partner as well. I will say that I think that there is so much that you need to do on your own before you start working with a career coach, because they're honestly just going to tell you to do the same exact thing that I tell you to do in phase 1 and phase 2. Like, the career coach is going to tell you that. And so I think it's so important that there's so much self-assessment and understanding your self-worth that you need to do before. Also, our program is way more affordable than working with a career coach as well. And I feel like I'm your personal coach. Like, I'm going through this with you every single week. I'm in your inbox giving you another little training, another audio, another, something really short and sweet that's going to help encourage you and motivate you. And it's really everything that I know since I've been doing this since 2010. So it's almost like career coach in a bottle. Like, you get what you need. So I don't think you need to worry about that.
Perfect. Another one that always comes up. I'm super busy now. Should I start?
Yeah, so definitely start. You can go at your own pace. So this isn't like, everyone is at a different pace. And that's why we have the assessment in the beginning to help you figure out what phase that you are at. So you can go at your own pace. You can you can pause for a little bit and come back, and you can you do what you need to do if you have a busy month. But I will tell you that just 30 minutes a week can do so much. You can make so much progress from just that 30 minutes. And you also have to know that this is a limited time offer as well. So it's not, if you're busy this week, but next week you won't, it's not going to be available next week. We're closing doors on Thursday. So you have to remember, life will always be busy. There will always be excuses. There's always going to be something if you're not careful. So I would just encourage you to join us. Make the leap.
Good call. So another one is, I think I want to start a business. Should I join this program?
Yeah, so this question comes up a lot. So just so you know, Love Your Career Formula is not going to teach you how to start a business like our other membership community corporate rescue plan does. But the benefit of Love Your Career Formula is it's a great place to start. We've had so many members start in Love Your Career Formula. And why is because of that whole entrepreneur track we have. So we help you figure out, is starting a business right for you? The very first steps that you need to take in that bonus that we have going on through Thursday, the entrepreneur track is the side hustle school to help you really figure out those first steps. So it's going to be beneficial to you if you do want to start a business.
Absolutely. Another common question is, how much time will this program take?
Yeah, so we don't want you to reinvent the wheel. We've done a lot of this, the hard work for you. So it should only take you 30 minutes a week to move forward with your action plan that we send you every week. And of course, you can put in more. You can cruise through it. We've had a lot of people who are unemployed that join, and they cruise through it a lot faster. And then we have a lot of people who have day jobs and families, and they barely carve out that 30 minutes, but they do, and they can move forward. So it's really up to you.
Awesome. And then another one that always comes up, and then we'll move on to live questions, is, can I get all the training modules at once?
Yes. Yeah, we understand that everyone's in different areas. Like, you might be going on an interview tomorrow. Well, you can get the interview module. You might have no idea what you want to be when you grow up. Well, you can get access to the explorer phase. So, or you might want to figure out how to get a promotion in your current role. Then you can fast forward to the leadership phase. So yeah, you get access to everything. So wherever you need to start, you can start there.
Perfect. Okay. So live questions. I've been multitasking. So I've been trying to answer questions in the chat box and then answer questions in the Q&A section. If you have questions, please feel free to type them in now. But we will address the current questions. Hey, before we do that, virtual high five. Catherine, Kayla, Michelle, Laura, Julia, Elizabeth, Jasmine, Kristen, Darla, Billy, Kristen, and a bunch of others. High five. You guys all joined, and we're super pumped. You guys are going to love it, and we love that you're in. And hey, if you just joined, let us know in the chat box why you decided to pull the trigger, because I know it's a big step, and so we're really excited for you. Let us know why you decided to join. Okay, Jay Burns just joined as well, and she had a question earlier about stuck in an evil cycle, no experience and safety, but no one will give experience. How do you start a new path when you're in this cycle? Great question. Yeah,
we have a whole section about that on Love Your Career Formula, because it's something near and dear to my heart, because I did it. I didn't have any career coach experience and then transitioned into it, or training and development experience and transitioned it. So the one thing that what was her name?
Jay Burns.
Jay Burns. Jay Burns. The one thing that I would think about doing is carving out some time to either volunteer or intern or do job shadowing, stuff where you're going to carve out that time to learn and grow. That's where you need to focus your time, because you need to get that experience. And for me, that was blogging. Like, I started blogging about what I was reading and what I was learning in my business school and what I was learning on the job. And like, all of a sudden I developed an expertise and I developed experience because I started giving free work to people and working on my passions at night and on the weekend. And then I gained experience, and then I gained social proof because I was helping others. And so to me, that's a big one. Internships, volunteering, job shadowing, meeting people, doing informational interviews, all that stuff where you can grow your skills and experiences yourself.
Love it. Min says, just joined. I started job search over a month ago after finishing my master's degree, but never really wondered the kind of career I want. That's a common theme. So I hope it helps.
Let's give them the to-do list.
Okay, perfect. Good call.
Yeah, because I know we have some people waiting for that.
I know.
So this was our final to-do list. This is the weekly to-do list template that I use every week. Our community manager, Jen, uses it every week in Love Your Career Formula as well. And here's you can download this right now at loveyourcareerformula.com/to-do list. But here's the great part is every single week, if you become a Love Your Career Formula member, we email this to you with it filled out. Like, we tell you what you should do that week. And so that's a huge benefit that you can see from joining, is like, you're not starting from scratch. We tell you what you need to do.
Yes. Excellent. Let me switch back. Okay. So next live question that has come in is from Deneen, and she says, I've been an independent contractor for 10 years, and I'm contemplating going back to the corporate world. I would like to hear about some expected hurdles I will have to jump. I'm scared of this change, but excited of potential possibilities at the same time.
That's awesome. I love that, Deneen. So hurdles, I mean, to me, one of the big ones will be showing your experience. So if you've been an independent contractor, do you have a long list of like all the accomplishments that you've done and what you've been doing these last 10 years, I think you said. So that's what I see as like a starting point. Starting in like the What's My Calling College and the work experience section, starting to think about all of the work experience you've had. Because I think your hurdle will be, what have you done for the last 10 years? Because you may have a lot of different places you've been working for. And so putting that in a clear, concise view on your resume, which I'd love to help you with in Love Your Career Formula if you join, putting that in the concise overview so that they can see all the accomplishments that you've had over the last 10 years, that's going to help you find jobs. And transferable skills, figuring out what those transferable skills are that you used as an independent contractor and how that relates to the job that you want to go. Because you have to tell that story. Like, this is why I'm qualified, because I have this skill set that you are looking for, and painting that picture. So I think that's the biggest hurdle, is as a hiring manager, communicating what your experience has been on the resume and in an interview.
Perfect. Okay, Jacqueline says, this is from earlier during the presentation, mission statement. So she's wondering about the mission statement, and she says, what exactly does that mean according to this presentation?
Yeah. So we have a whole template that you can use. You actually just populate it and it will come out. So I can't give you too much information besides, like, there's no wrong way to build your mission statement, but it starts with what you're passionate about, and it starts with what you believe, and it starts with what's important to you. So if I was just getting started creating your mission statement, that's what I would do for right now. I would start to write down what is important to you, what are your values in your whole life, and then, where do you want to be as far as like what impact do you want to make? That's a huge one for us in our careers. Like, in the career, what impact, what is your mission going to be in that career? And thinking about what are those things that are important to you. Is it, some examples, like, is it, if you guys have been around over the last couple weeks, we did a course called a business class to build a classroom in Kenya. And to me, that was completing one of my missions, right? Of like helping others and using my business and my career to make an impact and help others with their education and classwork as well. So I think it's thinking through that. Like, are there some like bigger things, like if your whole life, what's a legacy that you want to complete? There's so much that goes into it that we cover in that module, but those are some things that can get you started, Jacqueline.
Cool. We just had another one come in, and it said, what if I want to do 2 things / careers / interests?
Yeah. Well, you can. So first of all, it's figuring out which one you're going to start on and which one is the best. So this is the whole process we talk about of narrowing. In the next step after What's My Calling College is doing career fit. So we take What's My Calling College and we narrow it down. We narrow down potential career fields. And that's where we would start with your question is we'd narrow it down by looking at your calling, right? Looking at figuring out your ideal career outline and which careers match up with your ideal career outline. Because maybe there's something in there that like, once you start doing the informational interviews that we recommend in phase 1, and we teach you how to do those, once you start doing those, you might realize like there's certain type of careers that aren't the right fit for you. Great example, quick story. When I was in college, I did an informational interview with a lawyer because I thought I wanted to be a lawyer. And after that informational interview, I realized I don't want to be a lawyer. That does not sound like fun. So I think that doing like narrowing it down, looking at your calling and looking at those informational interviews and learning more about those career fields might give you the best place where you can start. Now, I will tell you, there are ways where you can combine careers. There's ways like you can do a couple different things in your career. I mean, I feel like I'm a writer, I'm a teacher, I'm a mother, I'm a supporter, I'm a mentor. Like, I feel like I'm a community builder. Like, I feel like I have a ton of roles. And so there might be a way that we can find you that one ideal career that involves both those things too, possibly, or like little skill sets and tasks from those things.
Perfect. Another one, which is actually, this is a funny question. I'm interested in the answer. Is this strictly for women?
We do focus on women.
But it's open to anybody. All the same stuff applies, right?
Yes. Right. Yeah, but our specialty and my specialty is women. So.
Yep. And then another one, I am currently a teacher. This is from Nell. I'm currently a teacher of 9 years and ready for a change. I received my master's last year and stuck. I would like to change careers, but don't know what or where.
Awesome. Well, first of all, thank you for all of your hard work being a teacher. We know that my daughter just started preschool, so I know everything. And John, actually, just earlier today, he was a volunteer at the preschool, and he came home just completely exhausted.
Huge props to teachers.
Yeah, huge props to teachers. We love teachers. But so making a career transition, it follows kind of the same skill set, same stuff that we've been talking about today. It really involves figuring out yourself more and where. There's not like, give yourself some time. Like, it's not going to be, this is a big career transition. And so you just want to make sure that you narrow it down to that ideal career fit. And then you start narrowing it down a little bit more by doing those informational interviews and doing that career research that we talk about, and really looking at job descriptions. Like, what is starting to pop out at you? And what do people tell you that you're really good at? Like, is there a dream? Like, I feel like, is there a dream like lying dormant? What have you always wanted to do? And maybe not to throw, I know, teaching might be something that, like me, you just kind of fell into, and it might not be something that like your dream career. And so thinking, I took my daughter to ballet class the other day, and a girl I was talking to, another parent, she had no idea what I did. But she started telling me like she's job searching, and she told me what her dream career was journalism, and to be in journalism. But instead she ended up in, whatever it was. And it's just like, that's your dream career. Like you just told a stranger what your dream career is. And so maybe there's just something that's just lying, asleep, and that you've always wanted to be, maybe when you were younger or when you were in, high school or college. And it's bringing those things up that we've just kind of pushed aside.
Yes. Hey, real quick, I just wanted to mention, if you are having any trouble with purchasing or with logging in, we have a little chat bar that says questions live chat now. You can use that and we will respond to you right away. Or you can email support@classycareergirl.com. So just wanted to throw that out there in case anybody is having trouble. And then Ree also had a question. This was funny. She's a lawyer. And so she says, LOL, I'm currently a lawyer who graduated from a top 3 law school. I want to take a position as a contracts manager or paralegal, but my bar license seems to get in the way since potential employers think I may later leave for an attorney position, just like I've suddenly decided not to be a lawyer. Would you address that?
I mean, the only thing is you can only be open and honest to people. And if people aren't going to understand you or listen to you or trust you, I mean, to me, it's not a place that I'd want to work in the first place. Because to me, that just seems like if you have applied and if you've done a really great job in your interview and like you've communicated that you're passionate about it, and then they're giving you that, like, to me, it's just not like very honest, I think. I don't know. I just would be weary of a place like that. Or it could be that you're not getting something across in the interview or in your resume, or maybe you're searching, maybe it's a sign, you're not searching for the right thing. If you keep getting, I mean, we got to listen to that, right? Like, I had so many doors closed on me. The only reason I'm here where I am is because I got denied over and over and over. And it's just, you have to listen to that too. Like, maybe there's something else that you need to switch your focus to, or maybe there's, another way that you can be positioning yourself.
Yeah, good call. And then Valerie, this just came in. Valerie says, I'm really struggling to figure out if it's even worth it to put myself through this. I have a bachelor's in science, my passion, but live in a country that is currently defunding and eliminating every branch of science and science-adjacent study. How can I find a fulfilling career when my government is eliminating it?
Have you looked into contract work? Because I know that there's a lot of contractors out there, and there's also, I mean, I know science is pretty big in other areas of the world, so maybe it's looking at a different location too. Science is, I mean, to me, it's maybe there's like maybe doing some informational interviews with other types of companies in your area that are doing something related. Because I know like where I live, the government does science, yes, but there's a lot of companies that do science stuff too, and innovations and stuff. And there's also a lot of like virtual work opportunities too, working for other companies in like different parts of the world. So I mean, to me, if you got to understand anything tonight, it's that anything is possible. And there's, if you want something, you can find it. And so that's, I mean, it's all a matter of, I wouldn't give up for sure. I mean, we don't recommend giving. If science is something you really love, like you can find a way to do that.
Absolutely. I would say also, just to add on that, like, look at what we're doing right now. We have people from all over the world. So the world has gotten really small. So even if, I'm not sure where you live, but even if your local government is defunding it, man, science is a huge field in the globe. So look elsewhere. You don't even need to necessarily move. There's just positions that could be done remotely. So I don't see any other questions. Unless you do.
No, I don't see any.
Okay, perfect.
I just see my mom, grandma is back with Mila, so we
Excellent.
do have to.
Okay, so like I said, if you guys have any other questions that we have not addressed, email to support@classycareergirl.com. We will also be on the chat box that is on the sales page, loveyourcareerformula.com. So if you have any questions, go ahead and write them in there or email support@classycareergirl.com. Anna, any other wise words before we leave?
Yeah, I mean, it's really just about those baby steps and taking action every day and really living a life with no regrets. And that's what I want for you guys all, because like this is our one life and it's short and we need to live with no regrets. And if making that career change and doing something you've always wanted to do, it's always going to be with you. I wrote an Instagram post about this the other day. Like if you have a dream, it's always going to be a dream until you die, like you're always going to live with that. And so why not make those baby steps and join us and invest in yourself? And we'd love to see you inside.
Absolutely. I think that's a perfect place to end it. So Anna, thank you for an awesome presentation. Thank you all for being here tonight. And we hope to welcome you in Love Your Career Formula soon.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Inside.